Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining this very special Hayes Travel Show in conjunction with Wendy Woo Tours. I have the absolute pleasure of having Sandra with me from Wendy Woo, who is going to be talking you through what we have in store.
It's wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Helen. What we've got coming up for you today is quite fantastic. Not only are we celebrating Chinese New Year, the year of the horse, we're going to take you through an epic journey today of this bold and huge destination. What we've got coming up for you in the show today, we've got our new tours, we've got our most popular tours, we've got tours for the first time traveller in China. Believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be fantastic. 132 million people visited China last year, and we all want to go there, don't we, Helen?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So stay with us till the end of the show, and you can join myself in the chat room. And Helen, you're going to be with me today.
Yes, I will be.
So just scroll down at the end of the show and click on the button and come and join us, where you can ask our experts all those questions that you want answered about China. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy this. So bags packed, passports ready. Let's get ready to travel with Hayes Travel.
So ladies and gentlemen, you're probably wondering, yes, China, it is a long way. It's the other side of the world. Yeah, a long way indeed. And so we're wondering, how on earth do we get there? What airlines do we use? Well, I'm joined now by the expert, Rebecca Smith, China Product Manager at Wendy Woo Tours. Good to see you, Beck.
Thank you, Andy. It's good to be here.
Amazing. So tell us, China, a long way. Beck,
Yes.
How do we get there?
Well, the good news is there are direct flights. Flying with Air China in and out of Shanghai or Beijing, which is where most of our tours start and finish. It's about 10 hours to Beijing and 11 hours to Shanghai. So that is the quickest option. However, we have a range of other airline options you can use. Two of the sort of key options being Cathay Pacific via Hong Kong and Emirates via Dubai. You can also add on stopovers in any of the hubs. So if you want a Hong Kong stopover or a Dubai stopover, you can add those on. And you can also upgrade your flights as well. So if you want premium economy or business class, or a combination of both, you can do so either way.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we're touring, what is really important to us? Yes, when we come home from the day's touring, it is a good hotel. Beck, what are the hotels like in China? Where are they?
Yes, so the hotels on our China group tours are around the 4-star. They're all very clean, comfortable, spacious rooms with a Western breakfast. As you get into more rural areas, obviously the accommodation standards can sort of vary. For example, on our Tibetan Railroad and our Tibetan Wonders, as you're heading out to Mount Everest Base Camp, there are guest houses and tented accommodations. So it depends how rural you go. It's all outlined on the tour dossier. And if you look on our tour web pages, there are sample hotel lists. So you can have a look and see what sort of accommodation. But the accommodation is always situated well for the sightseeing that you're doing on that particular day. And it's all very clean and comfortable, and we go and check them out.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we're touring and we're in different countries, of course, we want to experience the regional foods, the national foods, and really get into the heart of the country. And where better to experience some great food than in China? Beck, the expert, tell us about this food.
Of course. So in China, it's no surprise that you're going to be eating mostly Chinese food, and it is absolutely incredible. It is so delicious. The way that we arrange our food is that you try regional specialties wherever you go in China. So you always got a different mix and assortment of food to try. You know, the noodles in one city will be different to the noodles in another city. The food is all going to be lots of meats, vegetables, rice, noodles, and we dine in a lazy Susan style at most meals. So that is, you have a table with a big round dish in the middle and loads of dishes, almost too much food, because we want to make sure that you try absolutely everything at your time in China. And occasionally we will have a Western meal where it's suitable to do so. Western food isn't widely eaten, so where we can get good quality Western food, we will include that for you as well. As I mentioned earlier, the breakfasts are Western style at your hotel. So there'll usually be options for eggs and toast and the sort of home comforts that you enjoy too. If you have any dietary needs, we can cater for those. Please speak to the reservations team. The sort of dietary needs that were commonly asked for are vegetarian and gluten-free, and those we can definitely cater for. But anything else outside of that, definitely speak to our reservations team, and we'll be able to assist you with that. And finally, we love to throw in some extra special treats as well. So you'll notice in most of our tours, when you're in Beijing, you'll get to try one of the best specialties there, which is the Peking duck. In Xi'an, you'll get to try the dumplings. So yeah, we really love to make sure that you try absolutely everything while you're in China.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know what you're thinking. Yes, you're thinking, this is all great, but when should I go? Do I go in the spring, the summer, the autumn, winter? There's so much variety. Beck, come on, tell us. When should we be going?
Yes, good question. So, you can go any time of year. China's brilliant all year round. The more comfortable times to travel temperature-wise will be in March, April, May, and then September, October. November's getting on the cooler side for our British friends out there. If you want something a little cooler, I'd suggest November. But otherwise, those sort of months are in the spring and autumn, and they're very a lot more comfortable to travel in. If you want to go in the winter, there's so much to see. The incredible Harbin Ice and Snow Festival, that's going to be held from around mid-December until late February, just depending on the weather. And that's about -13 degrees. So very, very cold, but incredible and worth it during then as well. And then if you would like to go in the summer months, which are going to be June, July, August, it's obviously going to be quite warm. However, our guides are absolutely incredible. We've been doing this for almost 30 years now, and they'll be able to space out the sightseeing so it's a bit more comfortable for you in the heat. So there's no one answer. The whole year's a good time to go. So yeah, just pick your tour and go.
Extraordinary value with Wendy Wu Tours. We offer hundreds of inclusions in each and every tour, including your international flights, accommodation, meals, touring, transportation, transfers, and even your visa. All you need to do is get to the airport.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you are new to China. You've always wanted to go, but you don't know where to start. Well, what is the best tour for a first timer to China? It is indeed Wonders of China. Yes, this tour takes in everything that you need to see in China, from the wondrous cities of Beijing and Shanghai, the Great Wall. It has got absolutely everything: culture, history, you name it. So on that note, let's take a look.
Wonders of China is our most popular tour for a reason. It's the journey we recommend time and time again for anyone visiting China for the very first time, because it doesn't just show you the highlights, it reveals the true scale, depth and diversity of this extraordinary country. Over 16 unforgettable days, you'll travel through a land of contrasts, from ancient imperial capitals to ultra-modern megacities, from peaceful rivers and rural landscapes to dramatic mountains and world-changing engineering marvels. This is China in all its richness, past, present and future, woven together in one beautifully balanced journey. Your adventure begins in Beijing, the historic heart of the nation. A city shaped by emperors, dynasties and centuries of tradition, Beijing is home to some of China's greatest treasures. During a full day of exploration, you'll walk across the vast expanse of Tiananmen Square, before stepping through the gates of the magnificent Forbidden City, once closed to all but emperors and their courts. You'll feel the calm and harmony of the Temple of Heaven, a masterpiece of symmetry and symbolism, and gain a rare insight into everyday life as you meet a local family living in the city's historic hutongs, narrow alleyways where traditional Beijing life continues much as it has for generations. The day ends on a high note with a true culinary highlight, a feast of traditional Peking duck, crisp, fragrant and unforgettable. Spend a morning immersed in one of the world's greatest wonders, the Great Wall of China. Travelling northwest of Beijing, you'll reach the Zhuyongguan Pass, a quieter and less crowded section that allows you to truly appreciate its scale and setting. With around 2.5 hours to explore at your own pace, take time to wander along the ancient stone pathways and soak up the rolling valleys and sweeping mountain views that frame this mighty man-made masterpiece. The next morning, you'll experience one of modern China's most impressive achievements, its high-speed rail network. Sit back and watch the landscape blur past as you travel by bullet train to Xi'an, once the eastern end of the ancient Silk Road, and one of China's most historically important cities. Here, you'll come face to face with one of the world's most astonishing archaeological discoveries, the terracotta warriors. Unearthed only in the 1970s, this vast army of thousands of life-sized soldiers, each with their own unique features, has stood guard over China's first emperor for more than 2,000 years. You'll also explore Xi'an's perfectly preserved city walls, dating back to the 14th century, and immerse yourself in the energy of the Muslim Quarter, where sizzling street food, spice-filled air, and bustling markets bring the city to life. As evening falls, enjoy a spectacular Tang Dynasty dance performance, accompanied by a banquet of delicious shuijiao dumplings, a celebration of culture, colour, and flavour. From history on land, you'll move to one of China's great natural arteries, the Yangtze River. For 4 nights, you'll cruise in comfort aboard a state-of-the-art river ship, sailing from Yichang to Chongqing as dramatic scenery unfolds around you. When you're not relaxing on deck with a drink in hand, watching forested mountains and towering cliffs drift past, you'll explore some of the Yangtze's most remarkable sights. Stand in awe at the immense scale of the Three Gorges Dam, the largest dam in the world and a staggering feat of engineering. Cruise through the legendary Three Gorges themselves, where sheer rock faces rise dramatically from the water and mist clings to the peaks, creating a landscape that feels timeless and powerful. Your river journey ends in Chongqing, one of China's most dynamic and fast-growing cities, and a place that holds one of the country's most heartwarming experiences. Here, you'll spend a morning with China's most beloved national treasure, the giant panda. At Chongqing's Panda House, watch these gentle creatures munch on bamboo, roll, climb, and play. A joyful, unforgettable encounter. Next, it's back on the bullet train as you head south into the breathtaking countryside of Guilin. This region has inspired poets, painters, and dreamers for centuries, and it's easy to see why. Towering limestone peaks rise dramatically from emerald green plains, creating one of China's most iconic landscapes. A highlight here is a serene cruise along the Li River, traveling from Guilin to the charming town of Yangshuo. Over 4 peaceful hours, you'll glide past grazing water buffalo, traditional fishing boats, and quiet rural villages, soaking up scenery that feels almost otherworldly in its beauty. Your journey concludes in Shanghai, a city that perfectly captures China's ability to blend tradition with modernity. Once known as the Paris of the East, Shanghai today is one of the world's most influential cities, vibrant, stylish, and endlessly fascinating. You'll begin your time here in the evening with a panoramic cruise along the Huangpu River. As night falls, the skyline comes alive. Ultra-modern Pudong glowing with futuristic towers on one side, and the grand colonial architecture of the Bund illuminated on the other. The following day brings more treasures. Wander through the classical beauty of Yu Garden, one of the finest examples of traditional Chinese garden design. Explore Shanghai's atmospheric Old Town. See the city from above at the iconic Jin Mao Tower, and stroll along the Bund on foot, taking in its historic elegance. The journey ends as it began, with great food, great company, and unforgettable memories, as you enjoy a farewell dinner of Shanghainese cuisine, celebrating an extraordinary adventure and the friendships made along the way. That is Wonders of China, our most popular tour, and the perfect introduction to this incredible country. But if that itinerary has sparked your curiosity, and you're craving even more of China's natural wonders, there is another option to consider. Introducing China Uncovered, our brand new 20-day journey that takes everything you've just heard and goes even further. This tour includes all the highlights: Beijing, Xi'an, the Yangtze River cruise, Guilin, the giant pandas, and Shanghai, but adds one of China's most awe-inspiring destinations, Zhangjiajie. Zhangjiajie National Park spans over 48 square kilometers and is home to the breathtaking Stone Forest, a landscape so dramatic it inspired the floating mountains of the Avatar films. Here, you'll ride the world's fastest and longest outdoor glass elevator, rising through the cliffs to jaw-dropping views. You'll travel beneath towering sandstone pillars on a scenic train through the 10-mile natural gallery and explore the dramatic Grand Canyon as walk across the world's longest and highest glass-bottomed bridge, suspended high above the gorge. You'll even take to the water, cruising across the turquoise beauty of Rainbow Lake, before ascending Tianmen Mountain on a spectacular 7-kilometer cable car ride. At the summit, you'll stand before Heaven's Door, a vast natural arch reached by 999 steps, one of China's most iconic and unforgettable sights. China Uncovered is China at its most dramatic, most iconic and most breathtaking. Whether you choose Wonders of China or China Uncovered, one thing is certain: this is a journey that stays with you long after you return home. A chance to truly understand, experience and fall in love with one of the world's most fascinating countries.
Our friendly national escorts are the best in the business. They are all born and raised in the destination you're exploring, so there's no one better to tell you more about the local culture, traditions and way of life. They are with you from the moment you arrive to the second you leave, taking care of you every step of the way. Their passion, knowledge and expertise will make your tour truly remarkable.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, something very exciting for you indeed. I'm joined now by Kate Rowe, Head of Reservations and Operations here at Wendy Wu Tours. Kate, great to see you.
It's great to be back, Andy.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kate is going to tell us what are Wendy Wu's top recommendations for China in 26 and 27. And I believe, Kate, these are pretty exciting, pretty special.
Yeah, we want to share some personal recommendations, some of our Wendy Wu favourites, because the truth is that so much of China is still so unexplored. And whilst people have, of course, heard of the big cities like Beijing and Shanghai, I just want to talk about a few lesser known of our favourites. So first of all, Chongqing. So Chongqing has become one of our favourite cities amongst the Wendy Wu Tour team. It's an incredibly unique place. And one of the things that I think is so striking about Chongqing, Andy, is it's this real collision between the old ancient and the new, incredibly modern. So have you seen some of the videos online of the drone displays in China?
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. Chongqing now does a weekly show. They have 10,000 drones in the sky, all different colours, carefully coordinated, making these incredible pictures and patterns and displays. So if you've seen those videos when you're watching online, that's Chongqing. So Chongqing really is taking the world by storm. And yet, you know, in Chongqing, you still find these ancient little cobbled streets that you can wander through. It's where the Yangtze River meets the Jilin River. So it really is still that old traditional side of China mixed with this modern version. It's got the drone shows, but the other thing you may have seen, Andy, is videos of a train going right through a residential building. If you've seen that online, that's also Chongqing. So really is quite an incredible city and a great one to include on your Wendy Wu itinerary. Second place that I want to talk about is Zhangjiajie. Zhangjiajie is a personal favourite of mine because I was lucky enough to be there last spring, Andy. And again, I'd worked in travel my whole life, and yet Zhangjiajie was somewhere that until recently I'd never heard of. It really is still quite unexplored. It's a huge area of national park, mountains. You need about 3 nights just to be able to scratch the surface and see some of the key highlights. It's the most incredible scenery that I've ever seen. Tall, thin sandstone mountains. It's actually where the movie Avatar was based on, that incredible planet Pandora that we've seen in the Avatar movies. Well, the inspiration for Pandora was actually those sandstone mountains in Zhangjiajie, and they're incredible. You can take cable cars up to thin walkways if you're feeling brave, you know, and really follow the mountains around, surrounded by the most incredible views. There's walks you can take along rivers with the mountains, you know, up either side of you, and monkeys playing in the trees and swimming in the river nearby. So it's a really, really incredible place to go and explore, just to feel like you're somewhere really authentic in China, somewhere that not many Westerners go and explore, and really to see that outstanding beauty that China is known for.
Extraordinary experiences with Wendy Wu Tours. We not only take you to lesser visited places, but offer authentic experiences throughout. Be it learning a local craft, practicing an old tradition, or dining with locals, you'll get under the skin of our destinations and their cultures.
I have loved every minute of it. I decided I was going to see the world, and this is the place to see. You go on one of these tours, you make some great friends.
Since the beginning of the tour to now, it's been absolutely fantastic, well organised. The itinerary has just been excellent. Couldn't have asked for more. And everyone on the group has got on so well. We really gelled together, and it was fantastic. And Ken, the guide, has been amazing. Always at hand, always there, making sure that everyone gets on the plane in time, and just making the whole experience just wonderful and so knowledgeable. And it's just been wonderful, and all the cities are just so different, so it's just, and it was amazing to see the difference, and it's just been fantastic. And I definitely recommend Wendy Wu Tours.
Brilliant, yeah, totally brilliant. Delivered more than my expectations. Ken, our national tour guide, nothing has been too much trouble for him. So well organised by Wendy Wu. Brilliant tour, thoroughly recommend it.
The sites like Terracotta Warriors, Seeing is Believing, The World is Believing, it's been marvellous. Ken, you can't praise Ken high enough. Ken should be at the top of Wendy Wu's list.
Absolutely amazing. I've enjoyed every minute of it. The highlight for me was the Great Wall, the Summer Palace. The group has been fantastic, the best group that I've ever toured with. The itinerary is excellent, just the right amount of time, and each city has just been a real eye-opener, very different, and it's just been wonderful. And Ken has been fabulous, always there, always ready to help you. Nothing's no trouble. Excellent tour guide, and very knowledgeable. And it's been fantastic.
Great Wall of China has definitely completed the trip. It's definitely completed the trip overall, and the group has been great, good company, and I've enjoyed every minute.
I had no idea what to expect. I knew I wanted to see the Great Wall and the terracotta soldiers, but I didn't realise how wonderful and beautiful Shanghai is. We've had great hotels, a wonderful guide with Ken. It's a really good group. I'm a solo traveller, and I usually look for solo travel specialists, but I got in with this group and we've meshed really nicely. We've had a wonderful time. The food has been tremendous, and I've enjoyed every minute.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably wondering, whilst you're out in China, there may be some specific things that you want to see and do that maybe aren't necessarily included in the tour. So, Kate, what's our options there? Can we do extra things?
Absolutely. And I really would recommend that that is something people consider. This might be the only time that you're going to go all that way to China. So while you're there, you really do want to make sure that you tick off everything on your bucket list. So if you see a tour on our website that does the main highlights that you're looking for, but there's somewhere else that you're hoping to get to, or you just want to add on something a little bit different at the end of your trip, then we have a really wide range of extensions that we can add on for customers. And we are the China specialists, as you know, Andy, so we really do have some quite unusual and unique extensions that will get you out to some of these lesser known places, some of which we've been talking about today. For example, you might choose to add on an extension to Zhangjiajie if your tour itinerary doesn't travel there. Nine Villages Valley is another very spectacular one, very popular for people that want to really get out to nature and those spectacular landscapes at the end of perhaps quite a busy tour that they've been on. We've also got Harbin, the ice festival, up in the very, very, very far north of China. So if you are going to be out in China in the winter period and you want to add that on, that ice festival with the huge sculptures made out of ice is really quite unique. And another option is if your tour starts or finishes in Beijing, but you want to do something a little bit extra on that Great Wall, then I'd really recommend doing the extra 3-day Great Wall hike. So lots of different options depending on what kind of experience people are looking to have before or after their tour.
Amazing, Kate. I love that flexibility, don't we, ladies and gentlemen, of being able to add things. That's great. Kate, what about if we want to take it further and actually we want to do something different to a group tour? You know, we might be, arranging a special event with friends and family and we want to, maybe tailor it more to what we want to do. Is that possible?
Of course it is. So we've got two really good options that I would recommend to people. So the first option we refer to as private touring. So private touring is if you've seen an itinerary in our brochure or on our website, you really like the look of where it goes and how long you're in each place for. But rather than travelling in a group, you want to travel privately. Perhaps you've got your own group of family or friends. Perhaps you're lucky enough to be going away as 3 generations on a special trip for a special occasion. So we can then arrange a private tour for you. So you'll follow that same itinerary and that same route, but you'll do it as a private group yourselves. It could be as just the 2 of you, it could be 4 people, or it could be a larger group. That's just definitely something to get in touch with us about, and we can go through the options. If you want to go a step further than that, then we have our tailor-made option. And for us, a tailor-made option literally means we can tailor-make anything for you. So we can put together a completely bespoke itinerary for as short or as long a duration as you're planning to be away for. We can help you hand-pick hotels that suit your requirements. We can also arrange all the sightseeing that you want to do while you're travelling. And we have a brilliant tailor-made team that you can come through onto the phones or by email, and they can help you plan that completely bespoke adventure.
Kate, fantastic. We love it, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? So many options. And of course, you would only get that with a specialist operator like Wendy Wu Tours.
Absolutely. Our customers are in very safe hands, not only with the expertise in the team to help them on the phone and in planning, but also knowing that they're going to be incredibly well looked after by our brilliant guides and team in China.
Kate, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
China has it all. It's got the culture, it's got the history, and it's at the height of innovation. And also with Hayes Travel, we've got some amazing offers, Helen.
Absolutely. We have got partners fly free, and we've also got solo supplement offers, and exclusive to Hayes Travel, we have got a free airport lounge to get you off to the best start, ready for your China tour.
Now is your chance to speak to our travel experts live. Join us in our travel lounge on Zoom to get all of your questions answered about travelling to China and travelling on a fully inclusive escorted tour. Just scroll down the page and press the button to join the travel lounge, and you'll be automatically transported into Zoom, where our experts are waiting to speak to you. See you there.